So it's Energizer the DJ here, and I just had a few things that I just want to get off my brain. You just watched the verses of Master P leading the No Limit camp and the baby led Cash Money camp. I think there's a few things as people who love hip hop or look forward to this to look into. There are a lot of layers that we can look back now for those of us who grew up and watched and participated during that time of music. I think a lot of us, when the original verses came out, one of the things that we instantly did, like anything else with the verses in the middle, is we started betting and wagering and putting in who our idea of who would be the winner. So immediately, a lot of people said Cash Money. In a few barbershop conversations, you might have that one person or so that said No Limit, and they would have to present their case. I think one of the themes that I made sure that was stated as being a DJ from the past 22, 23 years, I said, hey, you cannot include Wayne as your use of the winning reason on why Cash Money would win. And if Wayne is your reason, then you're going to miss it. Also, one of the hugest points that I brought up was, Master P is going to play songs that, you're not going to recall singing from the radio. But when you start hearing those songs, if you were then around at that time, you're going to remember those songs and end up knowing the words and try to remember, how do I know these words? Because Master P was putting out projects. I mean, he had a new album almost coming out every month. I mean, his quantity and just how he was pumping it out was insane. And if he dropped the album, you saw 12 other albums that was about to come out as the promo on those albums, on those inserts. So I want to look at a few layers here. I think Master P's grind paved the way for the potential and the idea of what Cash Money could be. But Master P stayed independent, and through what they saw Master P do, they saw Cash Money coming about, and it's like, you know what? They could never do the same thing. They could never, make this type of money. So the deal that Cash Money has is like this almost once in a lifetime type of deal, because the people who they're doing business with, they would never believe that they would do those type of numbers. I think another thing that we saw in the comparison of the two is Master P was more grassroots in a lot of his music. A lot of his music back then was out the trunk. A lot of the tape shops and record shops and all of that, you had to go in and grab that. And not to say that he didn't receive a lot of radio play, but he wasn't as commercially susceptible to being spun and promoted like Cash Money was. There was a corporate interest in how we viewed and saw Cash Money. Now, if you look at both of them, these are both New Orleans based organizations, record labels. And they both had this whole like kind of family idea, like, hey, we're a record label, we're a family, and this is my crew. Now, for the most part, Master P only is the technical one that has family involved. Silk the Shocker, his brother C Murder, they're actual family. But in the Cash Money camp, there's really no family outside of the owners of the record label. Now let's get to the more mature aspect about what's really going on. One of the perspectives that I've seen through music, what was the content that they were selling? Now, this is the 90s. We're not really thinking about the grown man aspect. I'm a teenager around these years. I'm just a kid hearing music. So if I heard fun music, of course, I'm dancing or reciting the words, and I'm not really thinking twice about the lyrics. But when you go back, what transpired here? You had a particular look of a young black male, gold teeth, out the hood, a lot of money. And what are they doing? They're promoting this consumerism that they wanted black males to have. Go put money in your mouth. Where is that going to get you? What type of job or what type of career field could you really go into having diamonds and this grill in your mouth? It was going to get you nowhere. So it was this level of kind of backwards thinking, or what I like to call degenerate thought process. This is anti what had been built up. A lot of the males during that time, they're going to Million Man marches, civil rights. You're doing all these things to try to get to a particular place as a quote unquote black male, and you're trying to push this image. Remember around that time, the 80s and the 90s, go to school, get good grades, go to college, you'll have a job. So these guys are really anti what we needed to be doing. But whose minds does it shape? Whose minds does it affect? It affects the youth. So now, during that time, we didn't really see what some people call dreads, but what we know as locks. You didn't see a lot of locks, but New Orleans, you knew them to have locks. You knew Jamaicans to have locks. So maybe in some of your places like New York, Jersey, and in New Orleans, that's where you knew to see that hairstyle. But New Orleans, that was just their thing. Look at what they did. They promoted consumerism. They promoted the image of this thug, this like it was like Tupac introduced this idea or popularized it. He didn't introduce it. He more so just put a name on it, but it's a degenerate black male who feels like, hey, he's hopeless. He's getting beat up by the system. He doesn't feel confident in making good grades in school. He doesn't think he's going to be a doctor, lawyer, attorney. He doesn't really see his future going far. And maybe for him, he didn't have a lot of exposure as a young kid to know, hey, in the future, I could be something. Even coming out the hood, I can see the world. I can go to Spain. I can go to Portugal. I can be an artist. I can be someone of the political caliber. I can be a doctor. I can be down in the Amazon helping heal people, or so many things that a young man, no matter where you're starting from, you could end up being. I mean, think about it. It's 2025 and the president has baby mamas, ex-wives, and felonies. He's still the president. So, I mean, where we can go in this and where the potential is for any human at this point is endless. I mean, Mandela, he went to jail, got out, he did like 25 years, got out and became president. So it's so many routes that you can take in this road we call life that, hey, you never know. So let's go back to Cash Money and let's go back to No Limit. Now, Master P is the CEO, founder, and he was more so of the rapping persona that was out front. So a lot of us who watched the verses, we saw him doing a lot of running, but that's new maybe to the young generation that looks like some old man just trying to get his steps, and he's trying to avoid hypertension, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and he's just trying to burn calories and get the blood flowing. But Master P, when they performed, they always had that energy. You go back to Kings of Comedy, this is what Steve Harvey was talking about. They hitting the stage 50 deep. Everybody got mics. Everybody running across the stage. Go look at the videos. It's energy, high energy. Now, we're laughing at Master P doing his running in place, but if you go look at Cash Money, it was a lot of bellies on a lot of grown men up there. I mean, a lot of these dudes up there look like Winnie the Pooh. I think a lot of people forgot about the strength of, look at me, I'm talking about New Orleans artists and we got sirens in the background. So it's only appropriate acoustically. I'm setting the scene. We forgot about Juvie. I didn't, but I know a lot of you did. You forgot how strong of an artist Juvenile was and how much he carried Cash Money. Also, I mean, to me, the argument would be, who's the Beyonce of the Cash Money crew? It's between Juvenile and I mean, if Juvenile is the Beyonce, then I mean, hey, Quincy Jones is like your, Manny Fresh. It's, I mean, the way how he made his sound and how he birthed the sound that and then you got some notable sounds that came out of the Master P camp, but you got to look at who are the significant roles in these two and how much they play. But I just look back as a young man now, as being a teenager, and now being able to have that nostalgic feeling and being able to just see who these artists are. And, you see who took care of each other. You see how they had gold grills and all that stuff. And now all of a sudden they got these porcelain white teeth. So just think about how they led so many men down the wrong road, and they went and, tore their mouth up and tore their teeth up, putting this grill in. And now they turn around, they go put in all these white teeth, and you probably still got them open face goals and these goals that taste like you got pennies in your mouth. And it's no telling what a lot of these people have done trying to chase these rappers and trying to chase these artists. So I think there's just a level of consciousness that we need to approach now and even instill upon our kids to understand that, hey, this is a version of quote unquote musical entertainment. It is predatory. This is something that they definitely look at an unshaped mind, and they aim to put you in a particular mindset. So that's why they go after, oh, I sell clothes too. I have a clothing brand. Or, oh, I'm a female artist. I got makeup. They do all these things to just trying to impress upon you, hey, come buy more things. Or this is just me trying to leverage the masses or the group of people that I'm able to influence, and how can we get money out of them? And that's the constant play. It's this version of capitalism. But where do we really grow as a community that puts us in a position to be a better version of our community? Are we sitting down with this music and we're writing down, taking notes? Hey, I think Juvenile has some great perspective on how to deal with shysters in the Ninth Ward or in the 17th Ward or in the Magnolia. You know, Master P really has some enemies, and he speaks to great strategies and how to address his enemies and overcome the obstacles ahead of him. And there's so many things that we probably could learn, but I mean, these guys are talking about, consumerism and destroying their neighborhood. Oh, I sold crack, I sold drugs, and what am I doing now? I got more money than all of y'all because I'm helping destroy my neighborhood. And by the way, I'm gonna show it off while I'm damaging my neighborhood and my community by putting all these things in my mouth, all these diamonds and gold around my neck, and I'm gonna drive all these fussy cars around poor people. I'm gonna do it in the hood. So what do you think is gonna happen? People gonna want to rob you. People gonna want to take what you got. People will go try to figure out how can they get it too. So it's this endless degenerate loop that you end up in, and none of it really enriches anyone, but just the selfish person who's saying, hey, I'm gonna take out the community for my own enrichment. And so, yeah, there are a few people that come up from this, but at what cost? Who is it really serving in our neighborhood? So I like us to think about those things as we, again, see verses or see things within our musical community that we get excited about. Let's go back. Let's do a level of reflection, and let's put ourselves in a position to see, what could we have done different here, and how can we apply that now so that our children, our nieces, our nephews, and even some of our friends who are still wrapped up in these lifestyles, how can they change and go a different direction? And we start steering towards looking at other musical genres that would be more empowering to us. Like there's a gentleman that I know, Chris Mitchell Jazz. He's a amazing musician, and just being around him, it makes me now want to go listen to more instrumentalists that's out there. And whether he's doing covers or doing original songs, his gift opens up my musical gift and being receptive to great music. And it makes me want to go see, man, who else out there really has great gifts? Okay. I thought R&B was over until I started really looking at it. And I'm like, okay, R&B is like, not the popular R&B is not there like what we knew in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and in some of the 2000s, but you got to go do the research. And if you go do the research, you'll find great music that, could fit your taste, with people with real voices, not auto-tune. So just going in and changing our taste. Go find a piano. I mean, if you had an instrument that you played in middle school and might have gave it up, or high school or something, go find someone that professionally plays that now. Let's start investing in putting those artists in the forefront, so now we can possibly inspire the next generation of people that might want to play soprano saxophone, or who want to play tenor saxophone, or they might want to play the damn bass clarinet or the bassoon, or trumpet, trombone, piano, something that's different, that is not just, I'm emotional, I'm auto-tuning over the beat, and it's just the same 808s and drum cadence that every other artist is playing. And oh, by the way, I'm on these prescription drugs that I shouldn't even have access to, and now I'm wondering why I'm sad because I'm chemically thrown off. But hey, I look cool and I can go buy stuff now that you can't afford, and I'm dealing with these particular type of toxic women. Like, that's literally the music when you start healing yourself and you're really going in and listening. So I want to be able to have conversations with other healed people, other people who resonate in love energy. But, if I'm having a conversation with you and you're still on, some of the things that degenerate men were doing from the 90s, and it's still perpetuating in today's times, we probably really couldn't have a conversation and learn too much from each other. So I encourage you to do that. That's energizing. And that's just my thoughts on the verses that came around. Let's see what else we got to offer out there. And you'll be seeing more of my opinions and thoughts and ways that we can grow throughout some of the musical examples that we have out here in the US. I'm out.